Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things LEGO. Hit the link below to find a store near you. Hey everyone, Joshua Hanlon here at BrickSlopes, and next to me is a massive LEGO Disney tree display. So we've got three builders that are going to take us through each section of this. If you want to introduce yourself and kind of give us an overview of what this display is.
Okay, my name is Sarah Lunt, and this is our Grandmother Willow tree from Pocahontas. It's estimated that it's got about 300,000 parts. It took us a year to build, and we just had a really good time building it.
Yeah, and what's so cool about this is it's not only the whole tree, but there's all sorts of individual scenes in here as well that we'll take a look at.
Right, we tried to find a way to include everyone in the club, and so some of our builders are a little bit shy, so we were like, well, why don't we just make some vignettes to help people get out of their shyness, and so a lot of them helped and put in some good scenes. So.
Perfect, and we'll start at the base now to go through some of these scenes. So we've got one of the other builders, if you want to introduce yourself and then just take us through each of these.
Yeah, my name's Ron. Share Bricks out on Instagram. So the scenes that we have here, we have Tangled, so the Rapunzel movie. And then on the corner here, we have Andy's Room, Toy Story. And then over here, we have A Sword in the Stone. And all of these are themed Disney, because Grandmother Willow is Disney, so we themed all these Disney. This is Big Hero 6. This one here is Coco.
I love the lighting effects back in there. That's really cool.
Yeah, so we have a few of them with lighting. That one has lighting, and then the other corner over here has lighting. But we have Lilo and Stitch. And then we have Peter Pan with Hook. The other corner here with the lighting is the Seven Dwarfs from Snow White.
Great kind of mine technique with the rock work back in there.
Yes, that's a solid technique. And then this one here is Merida from Brave. And then we have another little scene sitting up top here. This is actually a build done by Daniel, and Daniel had the suggestion of putting a miniature tree, and all of our club members here contributing to building the big tree itself.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much for taking us through those scenes. So we will come back over here then, and we'll start taking a look at the tree itself. So if you want to, we got third builder here. If you want to introduce yourself and take us through kind of the trunk section.
Okay, I'm Doug O'Hara. I'm the guru in charge of the West Valley Brick Builders. So the tree trunk is basically a Technic structure on the inside, and it's pretty insane. And the canopy, well, the bark is basically art plates using angled Technic, and it takes 16 of these to make a circle. And then it took us probably 4 or 5 tries to figure out how to get the bark to look like bark. And then we just figured out how tall it was, and then I had to come up with the internal structure to hold the canopy together. Yep. And then everything else is the fun stuff. The face is fully animated. Well, it's animated.
That's incredible that you've got the moving face in there.
Thank you. And it's scripted. One of their club members actually did all the voice work herself with her son. They provided all the audio, and then I incorporated it into the powered up system, and she just tells bad jokes all day.
So you've got the mouth and the eyes both moving
and
there?
The eyebrows move as well.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
And then we have secret doors on the trunk too. Same reasons. We just decided it was easier to just open them up so you could see what was inside rather than try to drive ourselves crazy all weekend.
Mm-hmm. So if you can take us through some of these scenes that you've got in the trunk here then. Okay. So starting with this one on the side.
Okay, so we got Alice in Wonderland.
I like the big like playing card in the background there.
Yep. That was one of our members that didn't make the trip. They did a really good job with that one.
And then as we make our way around, we've got a couple over here.
Yes. So the top one is Steamboat Willie. That's one of our teenagers put that together. He did pretty good with it. And then the bottom one is a micro scale Disneyland, and that was done by one of the local YouTube guys up here. We were friends with them, and I asked if they would contribute, and so we made they helped out.
And a couple more, so there's lots of fun scenes.
Yeah, so the top one is Wally, and that's another one of our friends up here that contributed that. And then the bottom one is the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and that's the Nautilus and the giant squid. And then the little lady sitting in the knothole, that's my wife's mother. She passed away last year, and we kind of dedicated a tree to her, and her name was Mary Lou.
Yeah. And you mentioned the bark earlier, so what did you kind of figure out for that kind of technique, and what made a good design?
So basically, it's about 3 layers. We started with dark colors and the off colors to just kind of draw your eye to it. And then we just kept building it up with the wedges and the lighter colors. And just then you had to learn to keep it moving but not repeat. And it just worked its way up, and then you could have wider gaps, smaller gaps, and just be random but not repeating.
And before we move on to the canopy section, what are some of the details around the base of the tree and kind of the grass and the flowers?
Ron, more questions about the base.
So if you can, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about kind of the grass and flower sections here and kind of around the base of the tree.
Yeah, so we had 3 different builders on the bottom section here. So we did kind of have to mesh some things together, but a lot of these pieces are just the individual grass pieces. We did lay down some plates and bricks to kind of give it some more texture. Came up with some of our own floral designs, plant designs. Some of them were from sets, but just trying to give it some natural feel, like you're out there in the environment.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we will come back over here then to Sarah to talk about the top canopy section of the tree, which has a whole lot going on up there. So how did you guys get this to come together?
So I don't know if you can tell, but there's some little hexagons, like the dark green leaves are in hexagons. So we made a bunch of those, and then we were able to make panels using those. And then we just put them all together and made a big mat, and it went across the top. And there's lots of pieces.
You've got kind of the sides that came together in kind of these individual sections you attached on there?
Yeah, they break up into, we have different quadrants.
Okay.
And then we numbered down to how many for each quadrant, and then we were just able to just place them up there, and they're just sitting up there on Technic pins.
Mm-hmm. And then it goes across the top as well?
Yes, it's not on the very top, but it does cover most of the top.
Mm-hmm. And then how did you get the branches that hang down here are just such a cool part of this. So how strong are those, and how do those kind of tie in with the rest of the build?
They're pretty strong. If you look, we used these leaf elements, and then we just daisy chained them using these little ones. And so each strand started as a basic one, and then we just kept adding more and more pieces until we got the look that we were going for. But a lot of our teens helped us put them together. It really hurts your thumbs, and so we're like, here you go, kids. But we like how it looked. It turned out really good. So.
And those kind of hang from the Technic structure up there?
Yeah, so each one is hanging from a pin, and then we have some more of the hexagons to kind of hide some of the Technic bars and stuff.
So then what was that process like with getting this to the show and setting it up? Because this is such a massive build here.
So it comes down in sections. I don't know how would you say?
So basically the tower goes up first, and it just looks like a red and yellow Technic tower. And then we start putting the layers of the bark on up to where the compartments start. And then we put the face and the compartments in, get the top last panel section on, and then we can actually start putting the canopy arms on. And it didn't used to be that way, but when we added the compartments, we had to rethink it a little bit. And so everything has to go on before the arms. And then it's just a matter, we get all that on, and then we put the braces in, and we just, 2 of us go around in a circle following each other, and you put in the spacers so everything stays equal distant. And from there, once that's done, then it's easy.
How many total builders were involved with this whole project?
So we had 4 primary builders, which we handled all the heavy lifting type stuff, and then about 10 to 12 apprentice builders, which are up and comers, and they learn how to do these type of techniques, and then they actually learned some of the motor stuff as well. And we did a bark building exercise at one of our club meetings, and I said, "Here, build bark," and they're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Google it." and then they did, and they came up with some pretty good ideas, and then we refined it, and we like people to contribute. So
Yeah, very cool. And there are a few additional scenes that there wasn't space for in the tree here, so come back over here if you want to take us through these scenes here.
Yeah, so this first one we have Mater from Cars. This next one is Mulan. And then we have Beauty and the Beast. And we have Jack and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. So the goal with these was to actually rotate them and put them in so that everyone got to have space in the tree.
Yeah. And how did you guys decide on the scenes that were included? Was it just up to each builder and kind of what they wanted to depict?
Yeah, essentially we asked them, hey, pick a Disney movie, figure out which one that you like, that you want to build, that you want to represent. And, we had several great ones. There's so many more that we wanted to do, and we just, didn't necessarily have the time, but it's awesome that we actually had an overflow.
Yeah. This is incredible. Thank you so much to you and everyone involved here in this project. It's really amazing, and just combining the tree with all the scenes, I think is such a fun idea. So can't wait to see what you guys do in the future. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.